Hello everybody, welcome back. This is your tropical update for August 19th. We're currently watching life-threatening Hurricane Hilary as it approaches Baja California as well as the southwestern United States, where major flash flooding will occur. Invest 99, 98, 90 L, an area to watch in the Gulf of Mexico, and also another area coming off the coast of Africa. So as you can see, we do have several systems that we're watching right now. Again, Hilary is now a Category 3 hurricane, decreasing in strength as it enters those cooler waters. We have that western Gulf of Mexico storm currently located over the Bahamas. It'll develop once it gets to the western Gulf of Mexico. 90L located currently over the Lesser Antilles. 99L somewhere in between there and 98L. 98L somewhere in between there and the coast of Africa, where we have yet another system to keep an eye on. Here is the impact map for the Atlantic Basin. As we can see, that low chance of formation south of Grand Bahama is low at the moment, but that does have impacts extending to Texas at this point in time. Also of note, we do have Invest 90L located just outside, just to the west of Barbados now, between St. Lucia and Grenada, and that has also resulted in impacts likely to Hispaniola as well. Then we have two fish storms and then one currently off the coast of the Gambia and Senegal before the Cabo Verde Islands at the moment. So we're watching all of those very carefully. There is Hilary going to impact Baja California Sur, Baja California Norte, as well as California, Arizona, and Nevada here in the United States. And we'll talk more about that here in a second. Let's get through the models, though, real quick. As we can see, several of the European ensemble members developing the area of interest in the western Gulf of Mexico into southern Texas. We're also, again, 90L making its way across the Caribbean Sea, then turning northward into Hispaniola, perhaps increasing in strength. That's something we need to be watching very closely, and then recurving kind of backwards. And if we take that further out into time, we may need to watch Bermuda as well for potential impacts with this system. Again, the other two systems, the other two invests will be fish storms if they even develop. Whether or not they do is up for debate. And then we're watching the coast of Africa again, but again, no major land threats at this point in time. Again, the only thing of concern at the moment in the Eastern Pacific is Hilary making its way up Baja California and into California itself. But there is some activity near Central America that we'll have to keep an eye on as well. As we know, transition storms are possible. Here is Hilary at the moment. As you can see, a much degraded satellite presentation from yesterday. It's likely to at least clip Baja California as a hurricane, probably overnight tonight, and then move inland, say midday tomorrow, and then further make its way up into California, where tropical storm warnings are in effect. Again, those hurricane warnings in effect for the most likely to be impacted areas of Baja California at the moment. I'm keeping it at a major hurricane force when possible with this system for now, so long as it remains a major hurricane. Even then, major hurricane wind gusts will be possible. Tornado or two possible over the Mojave Desert once the storm makes its way into the southwestern United States. Storm surge possible as far north as Long Beach, California, where up to a foot of storm surge could be seen. The flooding, although it's only isolated 10, maybe 15 inches, you see a few red patches there on the Weather Prediction Center graphic. Flash flooding will be a major concern with this. Again, this is impacting a desert with a foot of rain. So that'll have its impacts associated with it. I skipped a slide there. There's the models. You see decreasing strength with Hilary as it makes its way generally north with a slight tilt to the west over time. Here is something I showed yesterday. I showed you the California one yesterday. I want to show you the southwestern United States one today. Only two storms have made it to Nevada on record. One wasn't even a tropical cyclone when it made it that far. The other one did, in fact, make it as a tropical depression into Nevada. And so we're kind of looking at a system somewhat like that, where it kind of goes up Baja and then goes up. So again, Kathleen is, I think, a really good model of what this storm might do, although it should still be a tropical cyclone at that time. Here's 98L, as we can see, decent amount of organization with it already. That convection, though, removed from the center and not a complete low-level center. At this point, National Hurricane Center saying a 70% chance of formation within the next 48 hours. Here's 99L, arguably depression already, but the problem is it can't really last that long. And one of the criteria for a tropical cyclone is that it has the ability to last. And so we see a good amount of convection. Earlier yesterday, we saw a closed off center, and now the Hurricane Center with a 50% chance of formation. Remember, that was about 40% yesterday, and that actually decreased, I think, to 30%, and now it's back up to 50. Again, the only time this storm could form is this weekend. After that, we're going to have too much wind shear over the Atlantic. Same thing with the previous one, 98L as well. 90L very likely to develop at this point in time. Hurricane Center is saying a 60% chance of formation within the next 7 days. I'd say even higher. Again, tropical storm winds likely over Hispaniola here heading into next week, and that'll become our main point of conversation as we move on with time. Models still getting a handle on this. It's still a relatively new invest. It wasn't an invest yesterday. It generally takes about a day of being an invest for the models to get a good handle on what they think is going to happen with this storm. So that's kind of what we're dealing with at the moment. Again, the Southern Lesser Antilles and Hispaniola, need to watch out for that one. Western Gulf of Mexico, also that system will be a topic of concern. 50% chance of formation within the next 7 days here. Again, it's going to move into the Gulf of Mexico and probably won't develop until maybe 24 hours before landfall, if that. And so that is why the National Hurricane Center has potential tropical cyclones. So this is a prime candidate for a potential tropical cyclone. Even if it's only a depression or weak tropical storm, this one is a great candidate for why they made potential tropical cyclones a thing. And finally, they just added another area off the coast of Africa for a total of 5 areas to watch in the Atlantic. 20% chance of formation within the next 5 days. I guess if you're in Cabo Verde, look out for that one. I guess this is one of the downsides to having a 7-day outlook, but that is the reality of this. A very warm Atlantic will cause storms like this to happen. So that's all for now. Chris Dixon, InfoWeather Media.